Hey folks, welcome back. Alright, so it's Gleeok killing time. Now, I normally don't go after these things at this stage in my game. You can, it's just I like to do it after I've got my Gibdo bones for my bow and arrow. But, I've been asked for the video a few times now, so I thought, well, okay, why not? I'll show you guys how to do it without, and then I'll show you how much easier it is later on after we've gone through the Gerudo Desert. Alright guys, so just like any other big fist fight in my game, I like to arm up, suit up, and eat up. So I'm going to go ahead and run that bone weapon proficiency. Best of the best here, so I'm going to go Savage Lionel Bow. Shield doesn't normally matter, but be aware this is desert, so it's turning nighttime here pretty soon in my game. So I'm going to need, climate control there. And instead of eating the food, I like to use the Ruby Shield so that I can eat my attack power meal. Alright guys, now I'm going to go ahead and use a Royal Guard Claymore for this fight. And normally I don't use those, because they just break so doggone fast, but I'm actually going to go ahead and intentionally break it on this guy. Reason being is because I want to get him killed as quickly as possible. And that's quite a damage boost from our next best thing, which is the Royal Claymore with the same tipper. Now that Stalnox Horn does count for bone weapon proficiency. So that's 80% attack power bump. And then you go ahead and eat your attack power meal on top of that. That's another 50% attack power bump on top of the other two. Alright, now normally I would eat a short meal here because the fight's over pretty fast. But right where I'm at, there happens to be a rare stone talus. In fact, I'll show you guys where that is on the map in case you're interested. And that's actually visible whether you have the map or not. Just look for that ring of water there. And he's right in the middle. So that attack power meal should get me both killed in a relatively short period of time. Alright guys, so arm up, suit up, and eat up is complete. Now be aware he's going to be kind of high up in the air. So one of the reasons I like this particular spot, especially if you're new to the game or this is your first Gleeok kill, this is a really good one to kind of, get your feet wet a little bit. Reason being is you've got easy ways to get some altitude. You can ascend up under that sky chunk there and get up top side. Great fly down point. But there's a shorter one right here which also works, pretty doggone good. That'll get you quite a bit of time in the air. Now guys, the secret to success here is mid-air bow and arrow. Slow time down, launch arrows. And you're going to need... I didn't mean to do that. And you're going to need wings. Because again, he's going to kind of fly up and he's going to be far away from you. So your bow will have trouble connecting unless you've got those bad boys. Now any kind of wing will do the same job, but that's obviously what you'll most likely have more abundant of anything else. That's why I usually use those as my go-to. Alright guys, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to work here. Now as soon as you get within range, he's going to wake up. And this is a flame dragon, so all his attacks are going to be flame-based. Oh, this is another reason I like this one, guys, is you've got like a... Whoops. Oh, that's right. His flame attacks... Well, him, in general, he has the ability to kind of make you sweat. He raises the temperature on you. Okay, so anyway, another reason I like this spot is because of the sky chunk. It kind of acts like a... Whoops. Assuming you stay behind it. It acts like a shield. So again, just kind of, especially if you're a beginner, this gives you a little bit more control over your battlefield here. Now, I think he's low enough where I probably didn't need to do that. I'm going to try it without. Okay, so as you can see, if you're close enough, you won't need to, attach the wings. Alright guys, now you're going to dive right in, get to swinging right away. And you're about to see why I use the Royal Guard Claymore. I mean, it's not doing a ton of damage right now. Oh, and by the way, hit the neck. See where the spiky stuff is? Those red spiky things that kind of come out the sides of his head? You're doing higher damage to him when you're hitting that sweet spot, so keep that in mind. Also, these laser beams, they're pretty slow moving, so normally you can just kind of outrun and avoid those. And see, this is a problem. He's blowing that air. Now, the air isn't damaging, but it does knock you around, as you could just see. I took no damage whatsoever, but it did not knock me to the ground. Oh, this thing. No, it's not the right one. Okay, so at some point, he's going to fly up really, really, really high up into the air. So I don't want to use my Royal Guard Claymore anymore, because the next time I down him, that's going to start damaging, and it's going to do double damage and he's just going to die insanely fast. But, you know, that's why I do recommend using it, so that the damage does happen to the weapon and that it does kill him insanely fast. But I just want to demonstrate for you what happens if, you know, for some reason you don't have that weapon, or say you're using other stuff, or, you know, you're just having a tough time getting in there and getting him down. I do want to demonstrate what's going to happen when he goes to take off really high up into the air. And there is a way to work around that so that it kind of levels the playing field. But in order to do that, I need to get him a little lower in his health. Not too much lower. I think it's about 25% or less. Okay, so there's that sweet spot. It's closer to the head. It's right about here. And you saw that damage increase from when I was swinging down here to when I got a little closer to the head there. Alright guys, I think that should do it. Now at this point he should go super high up. Now even if you've got like a spring box and you launch yourself up into the air with that, sometimes it still won't quite reach the headshots, even if you use the bat wings. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. It always, every fight's a little bit different in that respect. But here's what I'm really looking for, guys. This great big gigantic fireball coming. Go ahead and block that. Notice what happens. This is how you level the playing field. You take that massive updraft, and you can get up above him even, but you can get right up into his face, and then you can finish the fight this way. Well, I say finish the fight. Actually, he might kill himself. If he's high up enough, that will finish the fight. As you can see, he just took a bunch of fall damage there. So, sometimes that finishes the fight. If you want to be sure, plug him a few more times with a few more arrows. But one way or another, you should be able to get him dead. Alright, guys, and all the Gleeoks pretty much work the same way. There's, slight variances, like the King has, slight variances. The ice one and the electric one. But they all pretty much, as far as what you have to do goes, those are all pretty similar. It's all pretty much the same thing. That bone attack stuff going on, attack power meal, bow and arrow, get some altitude. If you need the zone a spring box, whip one of those out. Just keep in mind he's going to beat it up a little bit, so he'll either break it or knock it over. But what I like to do in those cases, when I have no other option to get air, I will just keep dropping those down as I need. And I normally only, drop 2, maybe 3 at the most. So, it's not terrible. Alright guys, I think I talked your ears off long enough. I hope that helps you all out. If you have any input to add to that to help other folks out, please add that to the comments. Speaking of which, if you liked the video, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Alright folks, thanks again. Hope that helps. Best of luck, and happy hunting.